الفاتحة بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم علمنا بما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما تعلمنا وزدنا من فضلك العلم المتعظيم إنك على كل شيء قدير اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم أما بعد Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh, dear audience of High Muslim. It's wonderful to be here. This is our session. It's called Rocket Readers, Whirlwind Writers. How to nurture the rocket reader and whirlwind writer in your kids. So this is a workshop for parents, but for anyone really who wants to kind of with children, and even that you could use yourself to benefit yourself, inshallah. And so I'm just going to start off with the introductions. There's the program that you can see, and inshallah the team at some stage is going to send you an email of this PowerPoint and the Word document that goes with this. So Sidi, are you going to let us know when that's available? So when the PowerPoint has been sent to you and the Word document has been sent to you, then I'll just give you a few seconds to access it so you can follow that as well, because there's some extra things on the PowerPoint, on the Word document. Right, so just a little bit about me. My name is Naveed Shahid. I'm from Aylesbury, and I've taught English for around about 20 years now. So I'm just your typical English teacher in Aylesbury. I've taught in 3 schools in Aylesbury. I'm currently teaching at a school in Thame, which is in between Oxford and Aylesbury. I've got a degree in English Lit. I did a PG Cert in English Studies, done the PGCE, and I've been teaching for around about 19-20 years or so. Also, I'm a writing enthusiast, so I've written books. Got some books that I've written. As The Hidden Ones is one of my more popular ones. It's a mystical thriller. It's I wrote this story, The Hidden Ones, basically from meeting special people that I've met in my life, including my grandmother and my nanny, but then people I met in Syria and Jordan and Morocco and places like this, and in Pakistan. Special people that I've met. It was influenced by them. So yeah, I love writing stories and poetry. I've written a play as well, and I share my literature and stuff on my website, which you may have come across via Deanport or other sources. And here are some of the roles that I have carried out. So, what I'm telling you today is not just based on me just messing about with my kids at home. It's I'm basically going to share a lot of stuff that I've done in classrooms with children of ages between 11 all the way up to 18. I've done some supply work, as I'm working part-time now, so I do 4 days a week permanent at one school. Then I have my Friday off, and sometimes I do supply work on a Friday. So I've gone into I've gone into primary schools all over Bucks and Oxfordshire, and I've used these strategies as well. And the kids have really enjoyed it, and they've benefited from it. So I'm sharing that with you as well. So that's just me. Something here is it says BRP coordinator. So when I was working at Mandeville School, they put me on a course which was called the Better Reading Partnership. And it's basically a 2-day course for teachers and for people who are in SEN and things like this. And it's a course to help weak readers become stronger readers by focusing on the skills of inference. So I will be also using ideas from that as well. Okay, so why rocket readers and whirlwind writers? Well, I started a club. Sorry? So they have a copy of the PowerPoint and of the Word document. Okay, so do you want to access that, please? So I'll just give you about 30 seconds or so to get into your phones and access that.
if anybody wants to know that,
Yeah, Word document, yeah. And also the PowerPoint, if you can try and switch between both of them, then you've got two different things to focus on, inshallah. Got it, brothers? Sisters, we got it? Yeah. All right, yeah, so why rocket readers and whirlwind writers? So I worked at a school called Aylesbury Vale Academy for about 5 or 6 years, and I used to run, one of my responsibilities was to run a creative writing club, and that's what it was called. It was called Rocket Readers, Whirlwind Writers. Just very quickly, what technique can you see in there? What literary technique can you see in Rocket Readers, Whirlwind Writers? Anyone? Literary technique? Alliteration, thank you. All right, so Rocket Readers, Whirlwind Writers, you know, newspaper headline writers, they love using alliteration because it's catchy. So I came up with Rocket Readers, Whirlwind Writers, and so, you know, the idea is to soar into the universe of knowledge and meaning through reading, okay, and then through writing, creating groundbreaking, ground-shaking ideas. And, you know, I used to like snooker in my younger days, so that's where I got it from as well, the rocket and the whirlwind. So snooker fans, who's the rocket? Ronnie O'Sullivan. Who's the whirlwind? Jimmy White. Jimmy White, all right? So, you know, to become the Ronnie O'Sullivan of reading, the Jimmy White of writing, that's like an 80s reference. I don't think any of the kids here, well, you know who Ronnie O'Sullivan is, all right? I mean, he's not the best example to use, actually, if you look at his personal life. But he's a wicked snooker player, all right? So, yeah, that was the idea. And also, you know, rockets, it's a very evocative image, a rocket. You are kind of ascending into an unknown, mysterious place. And when you're reading, that's how it should be. When you pick up a book, okay, you are ascending. And we all know that in our book, our special book, Al-Quran, the first word is iqra, is read. And inshallah, in the Quran, I hope that all of us, when we read the Quran, we are ascending, okay? We are going up, all right? And then whirlwinds, yeah, whirlwinds are quite a negative. In a way, you could see it as a negative feature of the world, but also whirlwinds teach us lessons. All right, whirlwinds really shake the world, and powerful writing should shake its audience, should make the audience see the world in a different way. So that's that. Objectives. Now, part of the way that we teach is that we try to get the audience, the class members, to take part as much as possible. So, would people, if I point to you, if you would not like to, it's absolutely fine, there's no pressure at all, but I would appreciate if people would take part and read things so you're not just hearing my voice. Brother, would you just mind reading this bit here? So the objectives and outcomes of this short course, the first bullet point.
For parents and carers to consider review of videos which could be used for children from junior age into secondary level.
So that's one thing that you're going to get from, thank you, that's one thing that you're going to get from the session today is a reading list that I've made up through a poem, and another reading list that you'll be able to see on your Word document, okay? And the next one, brother?
For parents and carers to revise and acquire strategies and ideas to encourage their children to improve reading and writing skills in foundational language.
Okay, so hopefully you'll pick up some, you know, even if you take one thing away today and you apply it with your kids, could make a difference. And apply it to yourself.
How good we are at reading, aren't we, at the moment?
Maybe. Yeah, well, hopefully if you got it on your phone, then you can see it better. And then maybe one of the sisters, sorry, sister over here at the front, could you read this bit for parents?
parents and carers who consider the importance of cultural capital, general knowledge and experience as a key driver in improving literacy and intellectual ability.
Now you are going to see, thank you, you're going to see Ofsted is increasingly going to mention, you know, Ofsted every few years, every 3 or 4 years, 5 years, they come up with something new, and it's really annoying for us teachers because they're constantly changing the goalposts and they're coming up with new kind of things, and they actually say things that we all know instinctively, but they say that, oh, the research proved this. Now, Ofsted are using this phrase, the importance of cultural capital, general knowledge and experience, and when they're carrying out Ofsted inspections, they're looking to see how schools are kind of providing for this cultural capital, general knowledge and experience. Now, the whole idea is that in the development of a human being, it is really your experiences of the world, okay, your experiences of language, all of it, it has like, a raindrop effect. It's like the drops of rain which are going into your brain, and then as you pick up your skills of reading and writing, they improve a lot more and they are enriched according to the amount of experiences that you have. So this is something that we're talking about, and in schools what we're trying to do is to give our children as many different experiences as possible so that they have lots of frames of references. When you're reading a book, if you've got an infinite amount of references in your head, then whatever you read, you'll have a reference to it. But if you've got a very narrow kind of experience, then you are going to find reading quite difficult because a lot of the concepts are foreign to you. So that's that. Now, something that I want to make this point from the beginning. We're talking about reading and writing. It's very important. Iqra is important, okay? But it's one of many things. This is something for us to remember. I'm a parent, I've got 2 daughters, I've got a 13-year-old teenager who's going through the teenage angst, and I've got a 9-year-old girl. So I've got 2 daughters, and I know how difficult it is. I've got lots of nephews and nieces as well, and I was a teenager once, so I remember how it was. And it's difficult, it's hard bringing up kids, all right? It's hard for my mum and dad bringing me up. Remember when you were growing up. So reading and writing are important, but they are part of many things. So just to put that in context, we have these building blocks: Islam, Iman, Ihsan. All right, they are as Muslims, as believers. Even if we're not Muslims, Islam is